Hello, welcome to part 3. Normally I don't get to do intros to the different parts of my videos, but I did want to take a chance to do that for part 3 and also share how we got to a part 3. Now, how we got there is because originally I was going to make a 3-parter no matter what, but then it turns out that I could have just made 2 parts. Now the reason I didn't do that is because I could have made part 2 20 minutes longer. And now looks like I might need even part 3 to be close to that. And the reason why is because if you use YouTube Editor, as long as you're approved for it, you can make videos that are 15 minutes long. But if you need to do like I do, where I try and make no mistakes, and I try and show different angles, and I have a bunch of different information, and sometimes you can't do the whole video in one day, you will need more than 14 edits, which is originally all you could do. You could do 14 edits, so even if your video was less than 15 minutes, as long as you had done 14 edits, you were done with that video. And you couldn't then take the video and then edit it again. But it now looks like, as long as they don't change it, even if you're not a YouTube partner, you can have videos, as long as you're approved for it, that are 20 plus minutes long, even in YouTube Editor. And you can now, instead of just doing 14 edits, you are limited to 18, but it looks like now, unlike before, where if you had edited a video, that was it. You couldn't do any more editing with it. You can now take it from this side and you can bring it back down, and you might now be able to do 18 plus edits again. So now it looks like if you want to, you can use YouTube Editor and have unlimited edits as long as you do that cycle, and you can have unlimited minutes as long as you're approved to it. So then the other thing I wanted to do with part 3 is talk about how I got to G.I. Joe. Now, many of you may already have collections of different toys that you had as a kid. For me, I had them up until I grew up and then moved away. Now, they either were given away or they were donated, but however it happened, I no longer have anything that I had as a kid. So anything you see behind me, anything you see in my videos, that's all stuff that I've had to get throughout the years. So what ended up happening for me, though, to get back to G.I. Joe, is that I grew up, I went away to college. Unfortunately, I didn't finish, but I went to college and I had a roommate, and she was looking for a mannequin for her sister, who at the time was making wedding dresses or planned to open a business to do it. And she went to all these different stores and she couldn't find a good deal, and then she ended up going to a website and she thought she'd be able to get a pretty good deal. And I was like, what is this website you're going to? And she goes, oh, it's called eBay. And I said, what's eBay? And somehow I ended up on eBay, and something made me look up toys. And now with everything that I do, and now the different people that I meet, whether it's a one-time incident with someone leaving a comment, or it's turned into Dave, one of 3 Nights, who considers me his best friend, and I consider him my best friend, and then my great mate, Cobra Chris 31, who also came up with a great one. He came up with FF, which stands for fan/friend. So I'm glad to have a BFF that I've never had before, and also to have a BF and a great mate and an FF and all those different ones. And so I do see it as fate. Sometimes it still gets to me why I had to be harassed as I was as a kid, but you know, if it was all meant to lead to this, and then if you're coming across one of my videos and you've never seen one of my videos again, then even more so, then it's fate. And I, trying to remember where I was, and I also have my dog down here, so sorry about not fixing this, which would be an edit normally. And I went there and I found that one figure, and it was Serpentor, and originally I was just going to get Serpentor, and I was going to get him because he came with a figure and his air chariot, and also because I don't remember it being maybe my first figure, but I remember that when I was a kid, I ended up getting Serpentor, and how I got Serpentor was for either Christmas or for my birthday. And then unfortunately Serpentor, before he was even given away when I probably got another one, unfortunately something happened to Serpentor, but maybe we'll share that for the comments or another video. And when I saw that on this eBay site, I was like, I gotta get this, and I got it, and then it went from there. And at that time we didn't have websites like we do now. There may have been one or two that I knew of, and one of them is the big one that I still remember. And also, even though I'm not connected to them, I do put links in my descriptions when I'm talking about something, so you can see what I'm talking about if I don't have it in the video. And we used to just post in news groups. So if you're somebody that used to post in news groups, you may not know this, but you are able to, thankfully, to Google and the web. If you want to, you should be able to find your postings from when you used to post in news groups. I found mine, but I'm not sure that I'll share them anytime soon, and I would probably have to look for them really hard again on the web, but they are still out there, so that's kind of cool. So people that used to post in there now are some of the big names on some of the different websites that maybe you already go to. And I, found out that there was Toys R Us exclusives, and I thought, okay, I'm going to go check out these Toys R Us exclusives. And I don't know if at the time I knew that G.I. Joe had been discontinued as a line, as it had been discontinued in 1994. And so I was like, okay, well, while I'm visiting my family, I'll go to this Toys R Us I used to go to, and I'll get the, exclusive thing. And I think this might have already been a year or so after these things had come out, but I went in there and I was, I can't remember what was on the shelf, but I was really shocked because there wasn't G.I. Joe stuff. The things that I remember as a kid being everywhere, they weren't there. And I even remember, walking in there, and sometimes there would be big displays, hanging from the ceiling, 3D displays of the G.I. Joe space complex, the Defiant, I remember as a kid. And all I ended up finding was a 1998, maybe, pack of the Vipers, and then I found the October Guard, and then that was it. And one of the things that I didn't find, and another reason for doing this video, is the 1997 Cobra Rage that was released as a Toys R Us exclusive. And I kind of glad that I didn't get it. I mean, up until, we started getting new relaunches of G.I. Joe, I probably really, really wanted it. But now I think if you go to the website and you see the different links, you'll see that the stickers really aren't that great. But the reason I bring that up is because, and sorry that I have to read it off my phone and not the actual package, is because it turned out, according to the back of the package, that G.I. Joe was released as a Toys R Us exclusive. The Cobra Enemy Collection is what it says. And underneath that it says, deploying high-impact landmines to halt G.I. Joe ground troops, the Rage, rams through G.I. Joe territory, rattling off heavy machine gun fire. Will the G.I. Joe forces destroy Cobra in the name of democracy, or will evil prevail? So I thought that was interesting, and I found that when I was doing my research, watching your guys' videos and the file cards for the Alley Viper and all that kind of stuff, and my videos and comments. So another thing I thought was kind of cool and made me want to share this and other stuff that I seem to be sharing now is it says, G.I. Joe, the real American hero, forever a symbol of courage and valiant patriotism, has time again fought proudly for freedom and justice around the globe. With this commemorative collector series, we call you to duty to celebrate this fearless fighting force. 15th anniversary is what that was at the time, and here we're going into the 30th anniversary, so that's a cool connection, I think. And it says, so stand and salute this real American hero's courageous spirit and patriotic devotion. And then if that wasn't exciting, and all the movie stuff and everything that gets me all pumped and energized, it was really nice how they made the discontinuing of G.I. Joe as a toy line, and all that makes sense with this relaunch or exclusive of Toys R Us stuff. And it says, from General Hawk's personal journals, for years, the heroic forces of G.I. Joe battled the evil terrorist organization known as Cobra across the globe. Finally, it seemed the Joes had won, but Cobra had retreated, only to regroup, rebuild, and renew their most powerful weaponry and most vicious troopers, as we've seen the Alley Vipers are supposed to be. Nearly 3 years have passed, and Cobra has returned, more dangerous than ever. G.I. Joe is ready to defend the world, as once again the battle cry is heard, Yo Joe. Now the cool thing with the Cobra Rage though is that's when they released it with the Alley Viper. And here we've got the Cobra Fury. That was a remold, retool of the Cobra Rage, and it's released with the Cobra Alley Viper Officer. Sorry again for all these mistakes. I've gone through all this in my head, so a little tired. So the other thing I thought was kind of cool that I wanted to show is that it was called, on the back of the package, the G.I. Joe the Cobra Enemy Collection. And it looks like we then got this right here. And this is a I don't know that it's retooled, it's just, so I think it's just a version. I think that's just what it is, just a version of the Locust, and it originally people would probably know as the Dragonfly. So it's, what would you say it is? I'm drawing a blank right now, but it's not a remold, it's just maybe a repaint, even though it's not painted, a rename. And this is from 2000. So that's what happened. Was in 1997, 1998, we've got the Enemy collection of G.I. Joe, even though I'm sure there was some good guy stuff that was released. In fact, there was one that was kind of them on a hill, sort of, I think, and they're holding the flag, and it's a bunch of older figures. And then in 2000, we got the Collector's Special Edition, and I think this was a Toys R Us exclusive, maybe not. So any of you that is watching this video and remembers, sorry about all these mistakes. I hope you've enjoyed my take on the G.I. Joe Pursuit of Cobra, Cobra Fury. As always, I thank you for rating, commenting, subscribing, but above all, I thank you for allowing me to show there's more to this toy collector than just playing with toys. Thanks, bye, we'll see you next time.